Good afternoon. It's Lynda Cromar coming to you from Colorado, and I want to share with you some good thoughts that'll help you in your marketing. And today we're going to talk about how important it is to understand. I'm going to jump over here. What it is that really creates leads and sales, and especially in Periscope. And I have the Periscope, link that I put out a little bit about an hour and a half ago, just to teach, to make sure everybody knew what I was going to talk about. And welcome, everyone. Welcome. Appreciate you coming in and listening. I want to teach you some things that really has helped me. There is a formula. There is a way to really bring people to your business, and it's different than you probably think it is. And I have notes over here. I want to make sure I give you some really good stuff. Go ahead and share if you'd like, because I will definitely give you some very good points, and I always do. That's very important to me because I'm not going to waste your time or mine. So definitely go ahead and share, and if you feel that I'm giving you value, of course, give me hearts if you want to. I don't ever ask people to do that, and I just get them automatically because I really work hard on giving you some good value. So what does create leads and sales? There is a formula that I've been using, and it's working for me. Number one, find out what your prospect is actually interested in knowing about. What is your prospect's questions? What are the things that you can actually help them with? Now, if you don't know what your prospect is, you have to know first who it is that's looking for what you sell. Now, on mine, I used to go and do all of the MLMs that are out there. Hello, how are you doing? Welcome. You must be new. I appreciate you coming. Anyway, I used to go out there and I used to just buy a product that I loved. And then I would convince people to look at it. And I've changed that feeling to I'm going to find out what people want. And so that's number one. Find out what they want. And as you can see, people are jumping on because of my title, because I'm going to tell you how to get sales and leads. So obviously, they want to know about that. So then we do a little bit of search. That's number two. We do a little bit of research and learn about our prospect enough that we understand what it is they're looking for. In this case, the ones that are on are interested in knowing more about how to get sales and leads. So that's number one, is find out what your prospect wants. Number two is research and learn about whatever it is they want, so that you can become at least enough knowledgeable that you have something to share with that person or people that come on your Periscope. Number three, you can share it. You can share in your own words what you've learned about that topic. Now, there's lots of different kinds of businesses out there. I wouldn't even attempt to try to tell you all the different ins and outs, but there's specific research and there's specific things that you're going to learn about your product and about your service that you want to share with other people. And people will learn more when you share good value, and they're more likely to stay with you than if you just pitch. Now, what I mean by pitch is actually giving them the presentation, and they may or may not actually be ready for it. Number four, give them the opportunity to learn more. In other words, how can they get in touch with you? How can they connect with you? How can they get on your list? How can, they may not be ready to buy that same day, but they do have the opportunity to get in touch with you. Now, one of the things I've noticed, and I'm not going to go into a huge thing about it today, but when I go and look at people's profiles, whether it's Periscope, Twitter, or Facebook, most of the time there's not a clear direction in a lot of people's profiles on how they can go and get connected with you further. And the very best way to do that is to actually have a free giveaway, a free thing that you can offer them, and they're going to exchange it for their email. And that means that you're going to share more information after they give you the email. It could be something as simple as a report. It could be as simple as a video that you're going to share. It has to be clear, and they have to say yes to that particular interest that they have, and by them doing that, they give you an email and you get to share it. That's still not where the presentation comes in. The presentation and the sales of your product comes in after they have said yes to coming in and becoming more interested in what you have to share. And then and only then are they ready to possibly buy from you. And so because of that, I think people try to shortchange this process. And this actually works no matter where you are on the internet. It's not just Periscope, but it is definitely very cool to use Periscope for this purpose. So let me go over this again because I want to make sure it's real clear. Number one, find out what your prospect wants. Now, when you think about, I think that you've probably heard this before, but the old story of somebody needs a drill for a particular project. But are they really interested in the drill, or are they really interested in making a hole? Think about that for a minute. When you have a drill that needs to go through, say, plaster or cement in your walls, you need a specific tool and a specific drill bit. So a drill and a drill bit that's going to create a particular kind of hole. And that's what you're actually looking for, is something that will create that hole. If the nail won't do it, you need a drill, right? And so the same thing goes with your prospects. They may not be looking for your weight loss product right now. Maybe they're looking for a specific health issue that they need to solve. And if you go and look and find out what is it, the problem that they are trying to solve, and you learn how to solve that problem in a way that they will be more interested in learning more, then you have a prospect that becomes possibly a customer. But it doesn't happen in a one-way, two-way product presentation on the very first contact with that person. Because what is it that's happening when you're trying to present before they're ready for it is that they are not looking for that, and so they're leaving you before they even look any further because they aren't ready for that presentation. The presentation comes later in the process, and that's what's going on with a lot of people. Is this making sense? Please let me know if this is making sense to you. So a lot of people are trying to say, I'm going to just stick this out there for all of my prospects, good or bad, and then they're not getting anywhere further with that because they're not figuring out that that prospect may not be looking for their product. They may be looking to solve a problem, and maybe your product is the solution, but they don't know that yet, and they're not ready to hear that yet. Does that make sense to you? So you find out what the prospect wants. In the little drill demonstration, they're looking to create a certain kind of hole. They have to go get the drill and the drill bit to make that happen, but they didn't actually go looking for a drill until they knew they had a problem, which was how to make a certain hole in the wall. And then, after they knew that was what they needed, and the drill was going to be the answer to their problem, then and only then did they go after finding the drill and then deciding that that's what they were going to buy. So in other words, you have to find out what their problem is so that you can fit your solution to their problem. That's a little different than just saying, here's my product, here's my company, before you know what their problem is. Like I get spammed all the time from people that says, here's my product, here's my company, I love it, but you didn't find out if that's my problem yet. And that's why people have so much trouble. Thank you very much, Glenda. I think it's Glenda. Thanks for your comment. I appreciate it. They didn't find out that that isn't my problem. So if that isn't my problem, then you didn't present the solution that fits the problem. Does that make sense? Because it's very important to get that it actually has to be that you find out what that prospect actually is looking for. Maybe that prospect isn't even looking for something that you can help them with. And you need to know that before the presentation, because what's the point in giving them a presentation if they're not looking for the solution you have? And so what you do instead is you research and you find the individuals that might be looking for your product. Those are the ones that you're going to try to get the presentation in front of, because then and only then are they more interested in looking. Then you can share solutions on Periscope. Doing like what I'm doing today. I'm actually doing a training. I'm not asking you to look at my product, although at the end I'm going to show you how you can connect with me, because that is how you finish your presentation. But if you're doing a training and teaching something that somebody wants to know about, like sales and leads, like I did in my subject, how do you get sales and leads? You find out what that prospect wants, and you research enough that you can find out how to get it in front of the right people, and then you share it on Periscope. And then number 4, you give them the opportunity to learn more, and then and only then is it time to give them an opportunity to be on your list, and then later a chance to actually be in watch your presentation. Then they're more interested, and then they're more open to the possibility, because they asked you, what is it that you do? When you get that kind of a question, then it's more likely that they're more open to listening to your actual presentation and learning about what you have to share. Does that make sense to you? I hope it does, because that is what I've learned is so much of the time people try to cut out this middle part, and they figure that people will just love their product and love their solution. But if that solution isn't what they're looking for, they're not going to say yes. And so you want to say, okay, what is their problem, and what is it that I can do to solve that problem? Is it something that I can do for them? And when you make it about them instead of about you, you're more likely to turn them into first a lead that goes on your list, and later somebody very interested in seeing your presentation. And that is where leads and sales come from. Does that make sense to you? Please let me know, because I would love to share that with you in more detail. I'm going to have this on my blog. You will be able to find out more about that, and let me show you how you can get in touch with me closer. This is my blog. It's at lyndacromar.com. That's the front page. If you want to learn more about what I'm doing, this is a blog post I did this morning. And I am always about helping you find a solution to building leads and sales online. I'm all about training and helping all of the people that are online for the purpose of trying to build their business. And that is how you can get in touch with me, is through either lyndacromar.com or from my Facebook page, which is Lynda Cromar. As you might notice, I use my name as part of my brand. That way you have an easy time finding me. And one more way you can connect with me is my link to my actual free training is actually on my it's actually on my profile at Periscope. As you can see, that very first line there, I'll get up closer so you can see it. That simplefreedomlc.com is actually my free training link. I'm giving you training and help when you join that. So that's not a buy my company link. That is actually the free training link. You can be part of my group and part of my training. You can learn from me from free. And if I show you enough value and you want to buy, that's where you'll find it, is in there. I hope that's been helpful. I definitely appreciate all of you coming. I appreciate all of the replay people that come on, because I get a lot of those. And I absolutely do appreciate the hearts. I hope that you will get something out of that. I tried to make it really clear. I'm also going to put this on my blog tomorrow, so watch for that. That's at lyndacromar.com. And I hope you have an awesome afternoon, and bye for now.